Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another part of my renovating base game series. This is a series where I am renovating the base game and using only base game to do it. I'm sure most of you guys are pretty familiar with this series by now, but in case you aren't, I do have a playlist and I've done quite a few renovations now, and I believe the last time I did a renovation was it in Oasis Springs? It may have been. I can't remember, but anyways, I know one of the recent last ones was the Caliente's house, which is right next door to this one, and I really just absolutely love that renovation. I love the contrast between like the siding color and the dark windows. I think it's just a really pretty like house, and I love the way the interior turned out. So I was definitely inspired to do another one in this neighborhood, one of these other sort of Spanish colonial Mediterranean style homes. So I hope you guys will like the way it turned out. And something I should mention, because I'm so mad, I actually just did this entire voiceover and there was no sound. And I should have known better to check my microphone because my toddler was just playing with it. He likes to know to push the button that turns it on and off because it has a light on it. It's super fun. And yeah, I should have remembered that he was just playing with it. And so I just literally got to like the end of the voiceover before I realized. So it's very frustrating. So hopefully I don't confuse myself in the voiceover because I'm doing this immediately right afterwards because I don't know when else I'm going to have time to do the voiceover again. So yeah, if I repeat myself or anything weird happens in the voiceover, then please forgive me. That is probably why. So yeah, for this house, I really had no idea like what I wanted to do exactly. I basically, I did an attempt at this renovation, and the first attempt I was really trying to leave the balconies that are on the left side of the house, but I did not know how to make the roof line look the way I wanted to, and like the floor plan and everything just kind of felt awkward basically trying to leave those balconies. And I did like them, but I think it was the better decision just to get rid of them. And so at this attempt, I just immediately went in and removed them. And so I think that was like the best approach because I end up thinking the floor plan turned out really nice, and I think the exterior shape of the house looks a little bit more just natural and a little bit less lopsided. I think the main part after that I kind of struggled with was the color of the house, and so I leave it, I think, the color that it is right now, but I do change up the color of the windows and doors to be a like creamy sort of sandy color, and I really like that because I hadn't used that color, I don't believe, in another Mediterranean style home. And especially I didn't want to do exactly the same thing that I did on the Caliente's house because I wanted the houses to, you know, stand apart from one another. I wanted them to feel like they belonged in the same neighborhood, obviously, but I wanted them to not look identical. And it was kind of difficult because I think the contrast between the dark windows and the lighter like plaster texture on the exterior of that house looks really nice. And so I kept looking at the Caliente's house, but reminding myself that I should do something different. And so I went with this color and I changed the windows and all of the doors to match it. But when I got to like the endish part of the video and I was looking at the house, it just looked so flat. And so I was like, what do I do to like make it have that contrast? And so I ended up actually going with a white plaster, and I think it gave it that contrast that I was looking for without using a dark and light color. And so I think it ended up looking really nice, and so I'm really pleased with the way that looks. And then for the interior, I actually ended up making quite a few changes to the floor plan. The main changes happened on the second floor just because I completely changed like the location of the bathrooms and the bedrooms. Originally, the bedroom at the front of the house where the like kind of faux balcony was, I turned it into an actual functional balcony because I put sliding glass doors instead of windows there, but that was a child's room, and so I ended up turning that into the master bedroom because it had that balcony there, and then I made the ensuite attached to it. And then I moved the location of the original bathroom, that's like the family bathroom, and I did that because it was in an awkward spot and it was also attached to that balcony that was there originally. And I thought it was kind of strange because there was a door going into the bathroom from the house, but then also a door going out of the bathroom to the balcony. So I just kind of imagined a sim hanging out there like on the balcony enjoying like the day or whatever, and then somebody goes in to use that bathroom, but then when the sim wants to return back into the house, they have to go through the bathroom. And so you would walk in on somebody possibly. And I just felt like if this was a real floor plan, that would be like the most like awkward, awkward like just layout for the bathroom and the balcony. So definitely wanted to change that. And I also felt like the original master bedroom was kind of like a weird shape and stuff, so I definitely just wanted to change that all up. I also changed a few things with the first floor. As you can see, I'm working on the kitchen and the dining area right now. Originally the kitchen was a lot bigger, it like went all the way over to the staircase, but I decided I wanted there to actually be like a proper entryway to the house and like a hallway leading to the back, so I made the kitchen a little bit smaller. And then also originally at the front of the kitchen there was like a miniature living room, and I decided to turn that into the dining area because there's plenty of space for it. I even made like a little pop out for a bar. And then where the dining room was originally, I ended up turning that into a home office, which I think was the best idea just because it felt like such an awkward location for a dining room, just because it was kind of like tucked around the staircase at the back of the house. It just kind of felt like it was isolated and not really like part of like the regular living area, if that makes any sense. So I felt like that was a good solution. And then over here is the living room, and this is where the living room was originally. I just changed the shape of the room a little bit because I did get rid of like the pop out that it had originally because of where the balcony was above it. But I really love the way this living room turned out. I love the colors in here. I think it feels just like warm and bright, and I really like that the furniture pieces don't actually match one another, but somehow they feel cohesive in a way. And then I just tucked a little toy box in there just so the kids could keep a few toys in like the living room or something, but I just think that room just ends up looking really nice. And then over here is going to be the downstairs bathroom. This is exactly where the bathroom was originally. I just kind of moved it over a little bit since I changed this side of the house. And something that I really liked about this bathroom was how the countertops had a rounded edge to them, so I wanted to keep that, but I changed up the colors in here. I think the shower originally was the same shower, but it had a pink swatch if I remember correctly, but I changed it to yellow just because I felt like that complemented some of the other yellowy colors that I was using in the house, and that definitely ended up being like a pretty strong like main color, I guess, that I used in the home. And I really like it. I felt like it just made the home feel so like bright and cheery and everything. And over here is going to be just like the hallways leading by the staircase to the back of the house, and I really had no idea what to do with them, and I was trying to keep them, you know, fully decorated, but of course continuing with that style that I've been trying to do throughout this entire series, where I'm sticking more to that like EA look, so not too many clutter pieces, but still trying to give it a fully decorated look. And so I think I achieved that, and I definitely think these homes are probably a lot more player friendly than some of my other like super cluttered homes that might cause a few problems just because of all of the extra details and everything. But yeah, over here is going to be that home office that I was talking about. So originally this was the dining area, and so I just put a computer desk in here instead. A chess table, some bookcases, and a few different decorations. As I was decorating this room, I was definitely trying to think of like a sim that would use this room. And then I put the typewriter over here, so I was definitely thinking that maybe one of the parents is really into writing and they keep that typewriter as like a, I don't know, a nostalgic piece back to the way things used to be, and maybe they even use it sometimes, which I thought would be kind of a fun idea. But yeah, here I'm moving on to the second floor. So as you can see, I removed like most of the walls, and so here I'm trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to lay it out. And I think this just feels a little bit more natural in a way. It feels like it flows better to me, and it was definitely kind of challenging to do the before and after pictures just because it is such a difference from how it was originally, and that always makes it a bit challenging because I like the before and after pictures to, you know, be taken from like, you know, close to the same angle and everything. And yeah, so it's a little bit different, but I think it all works out, and I'm really happy that I was able to make that front room the master bedroom, just 'cause to me it just makes the most sense. Let me know if you guys agree, but you'll definitely be able to see like the changes in the aerial views, that I do have before and after aerial views of the house, so you can definitely see the like major changes to the floor plan that way. Here I'm just adding some windows and some little faux balconies and decorations like that, and then adding a little roof over here, changing up I think the roof trim, and yeah, just adding more windows and everything. So yeah, I was really happy to be able to use those sliding glass doors actually, because I think they gave it a little bit of like a modern touch. because like the rest of the doors and the windows are so traditional looking that I liked having like those full glass windows on those doors. So I thought that was really nice. But anyways, over here is going to be the master bedroom. I'm just figuring out what wallpaper I'm going to use and what bed and everything. I loved this bed so much because it had the yellow colors and like the sunflower, so I felt like it really tied into the yellow colors that I was trying to use throughout the rest of the build. But yeah, the room is pretty simply decorated, but I think it looks really cute and it has everything that your Sims need, of course. I especially liked being able to include a fireplace in here because it was like stacked right on top of where the other fireplace is, and so I ended up putting a chimney right above that location. And I just like those little details that feel realistic because that doesn't always happen. Usually where I want to put the chimney makes no sense with where I have the fireplaces in the house, so it was kind of nice. But anyways, over here is going to be the ensuite bathroom. The master bedroom did have an ensuite originally, but it's in a completely different location, and then this is going to be the family bathroom. So like I was saying earlier, it was in a different location, and it also had a balcony attached to it, which I thought was kind of odd. I mean, maybe not like the worst thing in the world, but kind of odd. Let me know if you guys have ever been in a bathroom with its own balcony. I don't know, I just feel like it's kind of strange. But yeah, I think this bathroom turns out really nice. I'm just using the same sort of decorations and colors and everything that I used in the other bathroom, so it just came together really quickly. And then here in the hallway, I'm just again picking out decorations that I thought might look nice in a hallway, like I did the downstairs, picking out some artwork and a few different sort of details to fill in the spaces. But it's a hallway, and with base game it feels kind of like, I don't know, hard to find things basically. But I think I made it work. Over here is going to be a teenager's room. So originally there was a third bedroom that was in a green color scheme, and so I wanted to continue with the green. This room ends up being orange and green, but I definitely think this teenager is really into plants, and I chose that basically because of the green. And I added different decorations in here that I thought kind of related to that, like a bonsai tree and a few sort of like animal and nature related like posters and decorations. I think I even put a frog in here. But at some point around decorating this room, my game crashed. Thankfully I had saved the build like right when I got to this room, so frustrating. But it's definitely a good reminder and a good chance for me to tell you guys to save often, especially if you're building. I mean, gameplay I'm sure too, but for me, building, when you spend hours and hours building something and then if you lose it, it's so tragic. And so it's so frustrating. Thankfully, like I said, I saved and I didn't really lose anything besides like a few decorations in here, which was no big deal. It was definitely easy to replace, but I would have been very sad if I lost the whole thing. So I'm very, very happy that I saved it not too long before that. But I think this room is cute. I like the orange and the green. I think it's fun, and I think it's a cute teen room. Over here is going to be the pink room. Well, it's pink and blue. I decided to go with a combination between like the pink and purple decorations and blue decorations and just sort of like mesh them together. And I thought it was kind of fun. It was kind of challenging to make it feel cohesive between the two colors, and I think I made it work. I think it's just kind of different, and there's a lot of different like activities in here. There's a bookcase in here, there's a big stuffed animal bunny, an arts and crafts table, a dollhouse, and of course different sort of like posters and decorations and the necessary items like a bed and a dresser and those things. But I think the room is really cute and would just be a nice kid's room basically. So yeah, that's it for the interior though. Here, moving on to the back of the house, I'm just adding a few decorations on the back balcony, and then kind of starting to look at the house and feeling that it looks just so flat. And so I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm going to add a chimney here first, and then I do mess with the wallpaper colors. So I try like a few different things, a few lighter colors, a few darker colors, trying to maybe see if I want to make the bottom half of the build a different color than the top half of the build, and that really wasn't working for me. I tried this dark color and it really wasn't working for me, but this white color I thought was really pretty, and so I'm very happy with that just because it just was looking so flat to me. But I think somehow it ended up working and giving me that contrast that I was looking for, even though I have light windows and a light siding. So let me know if you guys agree. And then I do add a bit more details, like I add these little window awnings, and then I add some ivy over here on the right side of the build, just because I felt like it looked a little bit awkward without a window above that pop out area. And so I just kind of wanted to cover it up basically. And so that's what I ended up doing. And then for the back of the build, I do end up enclosing the whole back with a fence. And then I add an outdoor dining table, a barbecuer, some planter boxes, and of course landscaping. I considered putting a swimming pool back here, but I don't know, I just felt like it would be a bit cramped. And so I decided not to. You could easily add one though if you really wanted to have a swimming pool basically. I didn't add any play equipment. Maybe that would have been a good idea, but I think there might be like a park or somewhere close by that your Sims children could go play. Maybe not in this neighborhood actually. Let me know. I know in the other sort of like family neighborhood there's a nice little park. And then of course there's like the main park in like the center of the world, but yeah, maybe there's not in this area. But anyways, it gives your Sims a reason to leave the house. And so, yeah, I just added an outdoor dining table back here. I thought that looked really nice. I like the planter boxes, and I add like a few trees and details, do some terrain paint, and that's pretty much it for the build. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Thankfully, it wasn't too hard to redo the voiceover. So yeah, hopefully you guys are looking forward to future videos, and I hope you guys enjoy the screenshots. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!
You feel like summer days to me, warm, tender, sunny rays. I hope that we are meant to be. You say nothing at all when we meet, yet somehow I know your history. Oh, come what may, I'm ready. Picture frames, lavender and pain, they all live here within this romance. I get the chance to stop the run and be the lucky one. Odd thoughts and some dusty dreams, and we seem to find common ground. Guess everyone's got their own sound. I never cared much about fitting in, what's right or a sin, but as you stand before me, I give in. Picture frames, lavender and pain, they all live here within this romance. I get the chance to stop the run and be the lucky one. Picture frames, lavender and pain, they all live here within this romance. I get the chance to stop the run and be the lucky one. Just tell me I belong, that I'm the lucky one. I'm your chosen